Hey, welcome back. And Candace wanted to know how to make puff pastries. So let's do some puff pastries. First thing we're gonna do is get all of our stuff ready. We have some seal pads. We'll use those later. Bench scraper, gonna need that. Rolling pin, definitely gonna need that. Might not need that. So first thing we need, 500 grams of flour. To my boys down in Texas, it's gonna be half a bird, half a key. So we got 500 grams. With that 500 grams, we're gonna make a well. I like to use my bench scraper. Because it just allows me to do it a little bit quicker, do it more efficiently. So there we go. We got a little thing for it to work. Just gotta have nice thick walls so it doesn't go through. Next, 10 grams of salt. Okay. And we're gonna use 75 grams of butter. If you're using salted butter, you don't need the salt. If you're using unsalted butter, you need the salt. So I'm using a clarified butter. You don't need to. I just do. And last but not least, what is this? 250 grams of water. And there we go. Now what we're going to do, work the flour in. Get it in here. Start massaging it. Break up the lumps. We don't want dumplings. Okay. I could have made this thing a little bit bigger, my pool, but we'll be all right. So what you're gonna do is get this and just keep bringing in more flour, working the dough. Okay. Get rid of all the lumps. As you see the lumps, it's starting to go away. Or it's starting to thicken up. More flour. You do this, you'll get used to the way you want to do it. I throw flour from the outside in, so I always have a wall. Get what I'm saying? Okay. You can see it's starting to thicken up. Thicken it up. Thicken it up. Now, you just start bringing it in. Okay. That's why we got this guy. That dough is so slack. So now I'm just basically putting the flour into the dough. It's going to get all over your hands. So don't worry about it. Please don't let it bother you because it's going to slow down the process. So we're getting all the flour into the dough. Okay? Get it off your hands. Because you washed your hands before you did this, not a big deal. Good scraper. Now we want to try to get this stuff incorporated pretty quick. You don't, after you get it all into a pile like this, go ahead and just start kneading it. We don't want to over knead it. We just want to get it where it's all incorporated. And we have a relatively smooth dough. So what I'll do is I'll do that, throw some in on it, You know, at this point, that flour might not make it in. Okay? You don't need all the flour in there. It's good. It's really good. But sometimes, it just don't make it. After you get as much as you can incorporated into it, because you'll see it starts falling out, you gotta knead it. Only thing is, you don't want to over knead it. You just want to get it kind of smooth. Okay. Clear off the workspace a little bit. Give it a little bit of a knead. Okay. Now we see there's no real pockets of flour. It's kind of smooth. There's a little pocket. Okay. So there's our dough. Technically, that should have got used. And if the chef that saw me, or the chef that taught me saw me do that, would lose it. But he's not here, so. Now, there's our dough. We're halfway. So what we're gonna do is make it a bit of a rectangular shape, and you'll see why here. Okay. Only thing I didn't get out that I needed to get out was the saran, the cling wrap, whatever you want to call it. So once you have this here like this, you need to let it rest. So what we're going to do, throw it in here, give it a good wrap, and then we're going to put it in the refrigerator. While this is in the fridge doing its thing, you got to get the next part ready. And that's why I have these out. If you don't have Silpats, saran wrap will work. Cling wrap, whatever you want to call it. You just lay it inside and you wrap it. I'm sorry. And do that. And what we're going to do, this is the butter that's going to go inside the puff pastry. This is what's making it puff. So we need to make it where it can go inside the puff pastry. And if you see, I'm making it rectangular as well, just like I did over there. And this takes a minute because you want to try to get it as right as possible. More work you do here, the less work you do later, and you'll see why. Okay, so back to here, back to here, and at this point it's kind of warmed up, so you have a little flexibility. Okay, so there we have, I believe it's 300 grams of butter. Rolled out, ready to go. Okay. Back to the saran wrap. Wrap your butter so you can put it back into the refrigerator. and it doesn't absorb any flavors. So put those in the refrigerator, let them rest for about 30 minutes, and then we'll do the next part. See you then. Okay. We are back. Dough's been resting for about 30-35 minutes. Got butter, and I have a workspace that I have already put some flour. Flour is not bread flour that I use for this. It is a cake flour with a lower protein, lower gluten. So doesn't matter, you can use any flour you want. I just chose that one. Okay, so let's get at it. Dough that's been resting. Boom, drop it down. Get flour on it. You notice I'm using a different rolling pin. This one, I wanted something with a little more meat behind, a little more weight. So I got this one out. And all we're gonna do is roll it out bigger than this. Okay, I've got a good side on it. It's got to come further. So, a little flour. The reason I'm shaping it is for the final product, and you'll see. Okay, there we go. Now I think we're good. You got your butter that's been in the refrigerator as well. The reason everything is refrigerated is you don't want the butter to be oozing out of the pastry dough. Voila, está bueno. So we got this set up. Bring this, fold it, fold it again. Get your brain right. Boom. And guess what? Back to the fridge. 30 minutes. So it's going to sit in there for 30 minutes and do its thing. Part that sucks about pastry puffs is all this. It takes forever to get it done. But once it's done, it's really, really quick to make the pastry. So if you have time to kill one day and you can make 3 or 4 batches, because you know there's a big event coming up, like with my family, we'll have an event, we'll have 40, 50 people here, just because my wife likes to do that. You can make up this stuff and have it waiting in their fridge till the day before. Then you can just cook stuff off. Then when people come over, they think you're incredible. So let these rest for 30 minutes. I'll see you then. Got the dough, pulling it out. Boom, we're hitting this. This is going to require a lot. So don't be bashful with your flour. Okay, because we're going to use all of it. Get your dough. And you remember, we folded it 3 times. So now let's, butters, see how the folds are? It's like this. So we're going to put it down like this. Put it down like this. Hit it with some more flour. Big pin. Okay, now we're going to start rolling it. When you roll it, 2 things. Oh, actually, one thing. Don't roll over the edge, because all it's going to do is fold it over like that. Your turnovers, your Pop-Tarts, your things won't lift. So don't. Okay, no good. What I like to do is push about like that. Then when I want to get these sides, boop, boop. Just a little bit of love. Now see how it's square like this, or rectangular? Remember, we started setting the shape up in the very beginning. Okay, so now we have this. Okay, a little bit more. It's kind of a personal preference on how much you roll it out. I don't like anything more than a quarter thickness. Fold it in. Call it the book. You're making a book. There's a book. The reason I have this out and I haven't used it yet, sometimes it sticks. If it does, use this. Okay, so you got a book. I like to pull the corners of the dough so there's not a lot of gaps. Right there, see how it's a book. Fold your book up. Okay. At this point, it might be time for a new saran wrap. Okay. Wrap it up. And get your finger, one little indent. So you know this thing's been rolled one time. Okay? And put it away for 30 minutes. When it's done, you pull it back out. Remember? Flour the workspace. This one right here is on its last fold. If you look at this thing, book opens, you can see the butter in there. There's just butter everywhere. So last fold, same thing. That down, flour on everything. And I do it the same way every time. So I use this one and not my French pen because it has some butt behind it to get it out. If you notice, on all of them, still got the same rectangular shape. And the reason we're doing that same rectangular shape is on my next video when we're doing puff pastries. The dough is always rolled out in a rectangle. And if you do it right from the beginning and you're trying to make a perfect rectangle the entire way, you have much less loss on the final product. Or not loss, but trimmings that you need to put into the next dough bread or the next pastry bread that you're doing. So there we go. Fold the book, stretch it out, stretch it out, fold it. Do that 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Got 4 marks. When you do that like that, at the very end of this process right now, there is 1,028 layers of pastry incredibleness. So that's pastry dough. Have a great day.